had been fighting those awful orcs. I can't bear to imagine something would happen to you.
Oh, but don't you worry, lady. We Legionnaires are highly trained soldiers who fear neither orc nor demon.
Caught unawares.
Treasure!
Don't talk to me. You're making me lose focus. Can't you see I'm busy modeling? Obviously, someone's plumage isn't magnificent enough to inspire all those naysayers in the past. See what I become. Hundreds of years from now, people will wonder.
Orange, yellow, and green.
Ah, hello, proportionate one. Oh, I can see from the symmetry in your face that you are a great fan of the... I'm a painter by trade, as you can see, but a cartographer at heart. You might think there isn't enough work. I travel around Andervale, mastering my craft and finding new subjects to add to my litany of lovely portraits and complex maps, like this rooster. How lovely to see you again, haver of the beautifully shaped shoulders.
Pay the big cheese on your book with a wheel of the good stuff.
Join the Spud Club if you've got an eye for farm potatoes.
I'm straight. I'm true. Harry's by the dozens. Fresh haddock. From before fire.
A good day to you.
Soren has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Oh, hello, love. Nice day for a little stroll around the market, isn't it?
Spiritless?
What are ye staring at?
Captain Jack's the name, though the title may be a little generous at the moment. My crew ran off, and I can't find enough hearty souls to help me Those scallywags heard there be silver in the Lacula mines, and they abandoned ship like the lily-liver turkeys they are. Haven't seen them since the day we docked.
Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Spiritless? Perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject some vim into your routine.
Pay the big change on your block with a wheel of the...
Heavenly Harry, the recent doctor, join fresh off.
Sauce hunters, eh? All right, proper, we're finally getting a hand. If you've got a favourite sheep, best to fry her up now before she gets thieved in the night like me dear plump Ogget. The finest in me. Now that the herd's gone, old Birch is just scratching by like a hen till the next batch of beasties comes through. I recently sold most of the tender loves to a trader heading north. Plenty of business that way these days. Those miners must be preparing for a mighty great feast. Yes. Oh, Ogget's been missing for more than a fortnight. I love that sheep, you know. Was planning to cook her into a fine midwinter night haggis myself. Do tell me if you hear anything. I wonder how my dear, sweet Doreen is doing.
Ah, gracious patron, I see your tired eyes looking a bit teary. I've just the potion for that. Or would... Oh, no, noble friend. Your upper chakras are in desperate need of a good scrubbing. Fortunately for you, my homebrewed tinctures will do the job. Or if you're in the mood for something a bit more electrifying, one of my air scrolls might give your system just the shock it needs.
Pay the big change on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Quiet day on the market, it seems.
Watch the undead quiver in their moldy boots.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Red and orange, yellow and green, the finest veggies size seals ever seen.
No better solution to the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows.
Pay the big change on your block with a wheel of the good stuff.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses.
Day like this, is it?
Aim straight. Aim true. Arrows by the dozen. Get it while it's...
Ah, you return and humble me with your presence. Such a pleasure. Mendius. Ah, you'd like nothing more than to enlist, wouldn't you? Of course. What? Now then. Of course, by now, the genial glow of the fellowship. Work hard. Of course, of course, of course. All you need to do is sign.
Join a guild, better the world, earn a lot of gold. Yes, count me in.
And me. May all...
Marvelous, magnificent. Oh, but what am I saying? Fabulous is the word. You may not realize it yet, but your fortunes, it's a pretty straightforward task, this one. Now, in this town dwells a wizard. Who is his name? And he's a frightful eccentric. Scientific type, you know the kind. Favors reason over faith and all that. Not fabulous fun. One of them was a big lumbering apparatus. A frightful automaton shaped like a giant made of steel. It was supposed to crush the undead by the... But you can guess what happened. Did it become sentient? Was it cursed? Whatever the cause, the thing relieved itself of its pilot and headed north towards a network of caves. Now, luckily, there are those in this world who belong to the Fabulous Five. The braves who eat such monstrosities for breakfast. Go, my friend. Find this wizard's abomination and...
It was Esmeralda who killed Councillor Jake, but I didn't see her hit. Ha!
Greetings, Source Hunter. Not exactly the friendliest bloke, the cat.
Source. What happened? Is this a dream?
I don't think so. That stone. Somehow it sent us flying into the stars.
By the quill that lasts a billion words, what's this? Two Rivalonians here? At the end of space and time? How very, very, very curious. Oh, yes. Proper introductions. Zigzax the historian at your service. It is my job to record all that was. As for how I got here, well, for a historian appointed by the gods themselves, hopping to the end of time is as easy as what? How you got here, though, on such a tiny and rapidly shrinking vestige of space and time, I wouldn't have expected to find a soul but my own shadow. Ah, at last a question I can answer most definitively. I mentioned already that this place is the end of time. If that didn't send your heart in time, ought naturally to have no end at all. Indeed, I can think of no worse nightmare for a chronicler such as myself. But something totally show, don't tell, I always say. So go, peer through yonder looking lens and feast.
Might be quite mad.
You looked. You saw. Terrifying, isn't... What's this? The portal. It's... The portal has become active. Fantastic. Astounding. Onward we should go.
More junk.
The portal! It's quite sprung to life, just like the long, dormant flames that decorate this observatory. You, dear stranger, you must be the key. Something about those torches, a light! This portal active once more! It cannot be coincidence. Goodness me, how right you are. There's so much to take in, I'd nearly forgotten. And what you saw has been haunting my mind since I first... It is the void itself. The dragon that is devouring creation. I can't say for sure where it came from, how or why, but I do know this. It's shrinking our future by the second. And if we don't stop it, it will devour the past. And it's not that I believe, it's that I have seen. Then, no longer than a few mere moments after you arrive, zap it goes. Ah, though I cannot say for certain if it is what I believe. In fact, every last question that ever plagues your noggin might well be answered. For I believe what, but why spoil the mystery? As after you, after you. Oh, what one...
he's off.
It seems the Emperor spotted exactly who and what he'd hoped to find here.
Decent dugongs, you nearly startled me out of my boots. Well, you've got my attention, comrade.
I am the last chest, the last chest, the last chest! If you believe yourself worthy of rifling through my ample treasures, I do dare you to prove it! Find my 4 sisters, no more than one in each of the realms of your wide world, and each by each you'll discover.
Could it be, milady? The weaver of time?
Indeed, Sir Imp. As surely as you are he who chronicles all that I...
Astounding! Unbelievable!
You have brought guests, I see.
My reaction exactly, milady. It was their arrival here at the end of time that instigated my finding you.
This is a question better put to our guests themselves. Tell us, how did you arrive upon this plane? A stone. So, it was a stone that caused the great shock of energy that brought you here. And it infused... Not like this, no. What happened to... Never had I experienced something so... contrary to my nature. To weave something I had not... But yours has. You appeared before me from the moment you came into contact with that stone. Starstone.
But, Madam Weaver, how is it possible? Do you not see all? Have you not woven...
Like the stones, your guests are a mystery to me. I see them before me in this world, source hunters. It would seem that yourselves and Starstone are inextricably linked. Why and how, I cannot say. But I do believe that finding more Starstone is not what it seems, Source Hunter. Its true nature... Do you see what violence my work has suffered? What wound...
Mysteries of all time. Gaps in history. Oh.
It would appear that Starstone transforms at your touch, granting me new thread by which to mend the tapestry.
I see. What the void would shrink.
Yes. Though I cannot explain why this Starstone. If we do not restore time, if we do not discover the true nature of these stones, the void will consume us all. Indeed you must, though I may not yet understand why. It seems that you and you alone can unlock the powers within
Why, of course! That's what they were doing. I have recorded their doings, you see. Collectors of Starstone, more and more by the day.
Without these stones, Hunter, there will be no Rivellon. The entire tapestry will crumble, even this plane.
That shall never be, milady. As sure as Zix comes before Zax, we will put a stop to it. First, we mend the keys. Our most mysterious guest. Are you ready? Are you willing? Will you hunt?
Not but a moment ago we were hunting Source in Rivellon, and now we're being told that we alone can prevent the end of time by way of some magical stones. What do you make of it?
We can't deny our reaction to Starstone. There must be something to all of this, mad as it may seem.
No matter how improbable, anything is possible if the...
The glint in your gaze and the set of your brow suggest to me that you've not given up on our... No, with you searching out Starstone, I believe we'll... But you'll need a way to travel between Rivellon and this homestead, won't you? Who wouldn't want to see what fantastic changes your search will yield? And who knows what the Weaver... Luckily, the power of portals is known to you, so I'll let you in on the little secret of how to transport back and forth from the end of time. Off you go, then. You've Starstone to find, and I've a tapestry to examine. Surely there must be some clue here as to how... Cross my heart, hope to... Like the imp said to the ballista operator, wouldn't it just... Would that I had a Starstone sightseeing just like yourselves. Starstones are curiously absent from what I can gather, though. They were once cherished by devious sorcerers whose reign ended long ago. The ruins, caves, the lairs of long-forgotten evils. Those are the dens you should frequent. 2 more pieces of advice. Don't go unarmed. Neither do I. But the mere fact that this in turn more than implies that you are the Void's natural enemy, for it is you who is setting new events in motion. You who is We may not understand the how yet, but our aim is clear. We shall save creation from the grip of the Void. Now, isn't that... Oh, I don't know if I'm more than those things per se, but having been given a divine mission does have its perks. But of course, I have a price to pay for something that is priceless. It is my duty to record all of his... So, gather those Starstones so that we may... Lonesome observing the frontier of creation? Surfing the vibrant time. Well, yes, actually. I don't mean to complain. Perhaps you can imagine the profound pleasure it is to have made the Weaver's acquaintance after all these years. I can hardly wait to pick her brain about the great battle of the Sons of Sigurd. Before you go, Source Hunter, a final word. Once you return to Rivellon, there will be... I hope he'll be able to help you as much as he can. The Lady of Time, the Weaver of History. I am your biggest fan, dear lady. Could I get your autograph?
It shall be my pleasure, Sir Imp. I'll embroider it in the first volume of your all-encompassing chronicles.
Source Hunters, I welcome you once again to the realm of Rivellon after your travels through the chasms of space. Nice to have found a shelter, wouldn't you? I know the imp historian has told you about his agent on Rivellon, and that agent is I. So now that you know of the alliance between me and Sir Zigzags, let us turn to the business at hand. Starstone. And I'll be delighted to give it. Dark webs are being woven around these parts, and it is my firm belief starstones are the flies the sorcerer's spiders are trying to catch. It can therefore hardly be a coincidence that Councillor Jake was a collector of the stones we seek. His foul murder, and that means the task you have been given remains crucial. Find the assassin that did away with Jake, for you're bound to stumble upon Starstone along the way. While you were being lectured by our friend the historian and the grande dame of time, I snuck into his... The advantage of being a cat, you know. You go where you please with impunity. And sometimes the lady of the house even... That's where I saw them in a cabinet. Mere slivers, but specks of starstones nonetheless. They lay there, silent and innocent. Though bloody, don't we all long for a sanctuary where our worldly troubles can be held at bay? A bed or a basket so snug it becomes, in a word. But perhaps I speak only for myself, not for veterans such as yourselves that by necessity call any patch of ground. Like any cat worth its salt, though, I deeply cherish a secret refuge unbeknownst to anyone. To be able to repose without a care is such a precious circumstance, save it all too seldomly. Let me phrase it like Zigzags might. A universe without time is like a pen without ink. I'll not pretend to have all the answers, or that I understand all that is happening here and out there among the stuff. If Zigzags worries, I worry. We are talking about a creature, after all, that has reclined among the I met him first, a long time ago, out in the wastes of Youthful Gore. He wondered aloud what on earth a cat was doing out there in the scorching desert. So I told him who I was and showed him my human form. He laughed and marveled. In the end, he even shared his great sorrow with me. The unspeakable thing you saw through his looking lens. I was awed and frightened. Oh, before you go, here, take this teleporter pyramid. A handy toy indeed that Zigzags asked me to give to you. You'll need the other one too if you want to make use of its powers, but alas, I seem to have misplaced it. Don't worry though. Use this one here and it'll take you straight. Now that this matter has been settled, hunters, I shall detain you no longer. But rest assured, I'll do my share of hunting too. So if you spot a white cat during your travels, do stop to say hello.
Unknown to all time, are you? Leave it to an imp to try to fill our minds with all manner of magical gobbledygook. Plenty of fish in the sea, but I've got the foulest of the lot on my racks. I'll tell you who you are. Source Hunters, members of the most esteemed order in Rivellon. Here to find out and grind out every last speck of dark magic in the realm. There, the enigma is solved. Plenty of fish in the sea, but I've got the foulest of the lot on my... What are you? You think I'm... No, comrade, you can keep the... I just hope this fancy of yours doesn't interfere with your real job. Or have you forgotten that little detail already? slimy, reeking, rotting.
Salutations! Source hunters, I see. I'm Sergeant Curtius. Curtius is my name. The Legion is my calling. This is a storing house for Legion supplies. Perhaps the most important building in the realm, by my and others.
Well, a source hunter. A very hearty welcome to our humble warehouse. Have a look around, and don't mind if I pick your brain about the scoop. This, then again. But, it's an I tell you. And of course, every now and again, have you talked to him? Back again? Got any juicy stories for eager ears, hmm?
This place reeks of orc stench. Well, a source hunter. About time the council took us seriously. Maybe you can start with the two idiots hiding their pet orc here.
Back again? Got any...
Too bad, indeed. Not even a skeptic like you can deny that she loves me.
An orc in love. Ha! When this little charm fades, she'll liberate the flesh from our faces.
Come now. Enough doom and gloom. Cast your gaze instead upon my fair, fanged...
Ah, who better than a proven orc crusher to convince my dumbbell of a friend here?
Enough of that. I know how dangerous an orc can be, but this one has been reformed. Anyone can see that she's completely docile.
Maybe before the great orc raid we had time to indulge Ninius's idiotic obsessions. But now we're needed at our posts. I can hardly believe I've been wasting time protecting an orc.
Excuse my friend's violent outbursts. He hasn't enjoyed a woman's touch in quite some time.
Your woman's touch is less of a loving caress and more of a claw shanked brutally through the throat. I'll take my chances as a bachelor, thanks.
My friend here and I were patrolling outside the city walls, when who did I see creeping along the shore but this lovely orcish lady? Perhaps confused by the butterflies in her stomach, she sprang up and began running, claws bared towards Marius. Fortunately for him, I had the presence of mind to ignore my sword, and instead, a vial of love potion shattered over her head. And when she turned to face me, she became instantly enamored. I'm sure she must have been compelled to join the Orcish army under some kind of duress. A lady with such a sweetly savage manner.
Ha! I can assure you there wasn't a hint of sweetness in those murderous eyes when she lunged at my throat. She may be confined here for now, but who's telling when she'll escape and who she'll rip?
Ah, I've always had an amateur interest in all things alchemical. When I read in an esteemed periodical from the Wizards of Youthful Gore about an amazing... I sent away for the world-famous love potion, available for a limited time only. And it has worked exactly as promised.
You see what a fool my friend has been. Spending all his cash on snake oil and bringing a temporarily tranquilizer...
What kind of monster would lie in a published advertisement? I'm sure the effects of the potion will be everlasting, as printed.
You see, he'd believe it was noon at midnight if he read it on a printed pamphlet. Please tell me you can reason with him, or ditch reason and use your sword to shave him from his murderous darling.
She's got to be put down. If this love potion is as dodgy as it sounds, she could come to her vicious senses at any time.
Agreed.
Glad to hear I'm not the only one with common sense around here. I'll do the on.
No! She's You bastard! You had no right!
No right to
One
protect
day,
not only
Moira.
you from
One
your
day
own
you'll show 'em
stupidity,
all.
but myself and the citizens of Seal as well.
It's you we need protection from, murderer. Fortunately, the wizards of Youthful Gore make a revenge elixir that will show you what's what.
Go ahead and throw your sugar water on me if you like. Your foolishness is no longer my problem. Thank you, stranger. If you ever need help, I'll do my best to repay you.
A man in love with an orc? Bloomin' bullfrogs, is he blind, stupid, or both? It's a good thing you advised his friend to run the savage through. Imagine the hell-sent mongrel that would have crawled forth from that union.
This place reeks of orc stench.
Rest assured, we...
Curse the gods! Is it so difficult? Our home, our livelihood, all sunk in a matter of minutes while we could do naught but look on. Well, we were these bleeding orcs! They can't keep off this place for the life of them! They came in here slinging fireballs and swinging swords. Wasn't a thing we... Those souls are just as pressed for luck as we are now. A shame with our ship gone. Nothing for it.
Have you found us a job yet? Well, we were merchants what seems like a moment ago. These bleeding orcs. Well, you never know, soul.
Have you found us a job yet? Well, we were... These damn orcs. Those souls... Well, you never know when something might turn up.
Have you found us a job yet? We'll take anything. Well, you never know when something might turn up. Keep an eye out.
He drove it straight to the pub and back.
And don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Councillor's wife.
Is that why we never sailed the Youthful Gore anymore?
Speaking of youthful gore, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that orky charm loves him.
I wouldn't let an orc within 500 yards of my loving nature.
Psst! Ever hear about the time the captain took the Duchess of Federal's carriage for the...
Sauce? Here in Seal? Dah. Of all that cursed hunks of rock to land on, Conrad chooses this one.
Psst! Ever hear about the time the captain took the Duchess of Federal's carriage for the joyride?
Ha! Knowing him, he drove it straight to the pub and back.
Ahoy, sailor! How are you enjoying? Name's Conrad. Cargo trader, sea captain, an expert in all things nautical. Folks across Andervale know to give old Conrad a holler when it comes to rare imports and magical items.
He thinks that Orky charm loves him.
I wouldn't let an orc within 500 yards of my loving nature.
Psst! Ever hear about the time the captain took the Duchess of Federal's carriage for the joyride?
Ha! Knowing him, he drove it straight to the pub and back.
Oh, and don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Councillor's wife.
Is that why we never sail to Ythel anymore?
Speaking of youthful gore, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that Orky charm loves him.
I wouldn't let an orc within 500 yards of my loving nature.
Psst! Ever hear about the time the captain took the Duchess of Federal's carriage for the joyride?
Ha! Knowing him, he drove it straight to the pub and back.
Oh, and don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Councillor's wife.
Is that why we never sail to Ythel anymore?
Speaking of youthful gore, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that Orky charm loves him.
I wouldn't let an orc within 500 yards of my loving nature.
Psst! Ever hear about the time the captain took the Duchess of Federal's carriage for the
Those
joyride?
orcs must... I'll tell you.
He drove it straight to the pub and back.
Oh, and don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Councillor's wife.
Is that why we never sailed to
Speaking of youthful gore, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that Orky charm loves him.
I wouldn't let an orc within 500 yards of my loving nature.
Psst! Ever hear about the time the captain took the Duchess of Federal's carriage for the joyride?
Knowing him, he drove it straight to the pub and back.